Hi, I'm Kathy Dodson.
And I'm Jocelyn Lindsay. Welcome to another episode of 5 Minute Indie Insights because we are not AI avatars yet.
That's a good one. So, we're back with our second talk about AuthorNation, and this time we want to focus exclusively on AI because I have to tell you what we saw coming around the bend will blow your mind.
Yeah.
So, Jocelyn, what was your biggest takeaway on this?
Well, I had a little bit of a sneak peek because I'm part of Joanna Penn's Patreon community, and she's been talking about AI for a while, and she gave us a little peek into what she was going to be talking about. So some of it was not as much of a surprise, but I think the biggest surprise that she came with was when she gave us the sneak peek. We hadn't had our elections here in the United States. And when she spoke in front of the group at AuthorNation, she said, everything she predicted that was going to be a year or a year and a half out, she said she was changing her prediction to 6 months because now, since the election, we are in an accelerationist climate and everything is going to be coming faster and faster and faster. So it's really important to be aware of it out there and how to use it
Right. I
or
think
not. But
that's so important. And there's really four main categories that I saw regarding AI at AuthorNation. One is voice, and it was amazing. Number two is agents, not the kind that you need to sign with for your book, but AI employees, and they're calling them
yeah,
agents that work for you.
yeah.
Then writing a whole book. I mean, I actually saw a demonstration of this, really crazy. And then finally, asking for help when you're stuck. So if you're not into having AI write for you, how can it help you beyond just like I've been using it to write marketing copy because I'm not a copywriter.
Right.
So those are really the four areas that we looked at, and it is coming fast. It's here. It was shocking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead just real quick and talk about voice to start because I went to this voice presentation that blew my mind. I actually have one book out that is AI narrated because I just wanted to try Amazon's virtual voices. So I took Portrait of Deception and tried it. And it was far better than I expected it to be. But there were also times when so say there's a word that's spelled the same, but there's two different pronunciations, and of course always chooses the wrong one. And so you had to go in there and phonetically try and figure out how to make it right. Well, I went to this presentation where the guy had a British person that he wanted to talk in a fake Texas accent. And so she's going on going, oh, and the cows are in the field. And with his own voice, he hit a button. He goes, say the cows are in the field. And he turned around, oh, the cows are in the field. And it just blew my mind. Like it was like that. None of this like trying to find the right phonetics or doing anything like
Yeah.
that. Man, you want it, it's there.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And I've been playing with AI voices for quite a while over on 11 Labs, and they are just getting better and better. I recorded some quotes, like little quotes from my book, and did it in AI voice for social media, but I found there was a point when you started hitting like uncanny valley where it was like, this is just not quite right, and you could tell it wasn't quite right. I cloned my voice just to see what would happen, and it freaked me out because it was like now within, like within the last 6 months, it is like it's terrifying and all of this is terrifying and awe-inspiring. And I think the awe-inspiring part comes from how much easier some things are going to be, especially for indie writers, where we always talk about how we just want to write. We don't want to do all the rest of this. And voice, man, we're there. And I am so excited to be there.
Right. Well, and also that applies to agents, right?
Yep.
What do we really want AI to do? Market our books,
Yeah.
create the perfect Amazon ad for
Yep.
our audience or
Yeah.
Facebook ad or whatever, or figure out. We want AI, I personally want AI to do a lot of that so I can write more books, right?
Right.
And so that the books that I do write will sell better and find their audience without me kind of struggling along, trying to figure that part of it out because that's not my sweet spot.
Right. Yeah.
So that's an exciting thing. And Joanna Penn talked about, it happening for writers and it happening throughout
Oh yeah.
all work that
Yeah.
people are going to rely on these AI agents more and more.
Yeah, the text to employee or text to action, it's huge because right now a lot of AI is creating content or analyzing content, and it's going to be amazing when it creates it, analyzes it, and then goes and does it. And I mean, I can make social media strategic plans till, the cows come home. But now it's going to be, here's the plan, here's the thing, go do it. And yeah, so it's going to be, we're going to have AI assistants.
Right.
I can't wait for my AI assistant overlord to like arrive.
You need to be the overlord. We just need to be the assistants. So moving on, I saw a presentation from Raptor that
Yes.
blew my mind.
Yeah.
She had done some pre-work. She had given the bot several samples, sorry about that, of her writing styles because it was important to her that it write in her writing style. And then she just gave it a prompt that she showed us right there. She's like, I want you to write an outline, and I want you to follow this formula for chapters. Like you could do Save the Cat or whatever. And I want you to write me an outline for each chapter. And then she gave it, these are the characters. This is a romance. There has to be a happily ever after. And she went through and she got the outline for the book and she looked at it and she changed a few things. And then she said, okay, give me the outline for the first chapter. And it came back to her in seconds, right? And she went through the outline and she changed a few things. And then she said, okay, this looks good. Write it for me. I have to tell you, the quality of the writing was frightening.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not perfect, but it was far beyond
Yeah.
anything that I've seen because she had done all this stuff, prompting it and getting it
Right.
ready. And so she wrote two chapters in this one presentation. Well, she did. The bot wrote two chapters in this one presentation in maybe 20 minutes to go through that whole thing. It
Well,
was stunning.
Well, Amazon changed its uploads that you can only upload now 3 books a day.
Mhm.
Because when this started happening, people were uploading thousands and thousands of books. And I know it's one of the reasons like Book Vault put a fee on uploading a book because Alex at Book Vault was telling me somebody had uploaded like 1,500 cat
Uh,
books or something.
yeah,
So yeah, and it's not that it can't generate, but AI, writing is not a content generating business. And I think that a lot of writers get caught in thinking like, "Oh no, it can write all these books. How can I compete?" Well, you compete by being human and building relationships and having connections. It's not your business model can't be I generate 10,000 books a day. I
right. And right now, AI, as it was explained to me, I'm not the expert, is just putting the next most reasonable word
exactly.
together. And that's also something that's going to change. And I have to tell you, it is up to the individual. We're not trying to be pro or anti AI, but you absolutely need to know what's out there.
You absolutely have to know what's out there. And
Yeah.
if you want to use it, it's another tool in your toolbox. And if you don't, you got to be aware of it because other people are using it.
Right. I'd say one big change in the conference last year to this year is people are more willing to look at AI solutions. Like, I don't know that there's a lot of writers that want AI to write their books for them. There's
No.
definitely a segment that is playing in that sandbox.
Right.
But there are, I think, more writers who like the idea of an outline. Or one person got up and asked a question during Joanna Penn's session. He's like, I'm really struggling with how to get from one scene to another. And she's like, that's the perfect tool for AI.
Absolutely. Yes. I do that a lot with AI, the brainstorming. I just it's even the word vomit brainstorming. Just starting to type, I'm doing this. This is the scene. This is what's happening. These are these characters. I want to do this. I don't know how to make that bridge. And I just like vomit it natural language right in to, I use predominantly Chat GPT, and it will give me like a list of 8 or 10 suggestions. And sometimes those suggestions aren't even what I want to use, but they'll spark something else, or they'll spark another idea. But I find that, yeah, getting over that, I don't know how to make these things connect or analyze this, or I don't start from scratch with it. I use it to help augment and advance what I'm doing.
Right. Well, and again, like I said, I use Claude for marketing copy,
Yeah.
and it's phenomenal. Again, you rarely take it word for word, although I have to say it's gotten a lot better over the past like 6 months than it was a year ago. But I'm not a copywriter. So you can go into Claude and say, you are a book marketer with 30 years of experience, and give him a prompt that really makes sense. This is my genre, and here's my
Exactly.
book summary. And it spits out something that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I build social media calendars off of it because I can tell it, the strategy for TikTok, the strategy for Instagram, the strategy for Facebook, what is the best strategy for those different platforms? Help me build blah blah, and on and on and on. But I will say I'd say that you said Claude's gotten better, and Claude has gotten so much better because I write fantasy. And last year I was trying to get it to help me um, bridge some gaps and brainstorm some things about blood mages, and it would not talk about blood mages because that's evil, and it had this like line that it did not want to talk about blood mages. It kept trying to redirect me, and the way I had to have the conversation was hematologist magicians, or I had to find this totally ridiculous workaround.
So the woman from Raptor told me the funniest story. When Claude implemented that, everyone went crazy, right? Like, because it wasn't just like blood and gore, it was also like heat, spicy.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they actually took a group of writers and met with Claude and said, we know what you're trying to do, but this is how it's affecting the writing community. And so they found a workaround where
Yeah.
it doesn't do that, but it also isn't gonna, if you say I want to blow up the Capitol, there's some stuff.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I just had like the dumbest conversations about magicians who were hematologists
Oh my
because
God.
I could not figure out how to get it to talk to me about blood mages.
So anyway, the main topic again of AuthorNation was AI. It was a big topic last year as well, but the thing now is that it's here, it's better than you think, and there's going to be a lot more coming around the bend.
Yeah.
Jocelyn and I sat in one session next to each other. I think it was Joanna Penn's, and we're like, "Oh my God, we're going to be actually making movies soon as we're
I
writing
oh
books."
I've already started putting together a book trailer with AI. That we have to have that conversation at some point because I've been putting together book trailers now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, but to that end, I need to go back and finish my book trailer now and write.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so we will see you next time. Take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Keep writing. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Bye.